Hello, this is still Unfiltered Conversation on Cleveland TV. And I would like to encourage you guys to please keep signing up with us on www.cleveland.com. We exist to link you with the entire universe. My name is Frank Alidemudia, and my guest this evening is a prominent musical icon. All right, we're doing a series of those that will be performing at the FESTAC Africa event, and she happens to be one of them. Please join me, welcome Charlotte Hill O'Neill, also known as Mama C. You're welcome to the program, man.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Wow,
Yes.
you look so strong at your age.
Oh, thank you. Yes, I'm an old lady, but I always say I'm a young old lady. I'm
I
72 years old,
I totally agree with
72
that.
years young.
Wow.
Yes, yes.
All
I'm
right. So,
very blessed.
so please let's get to know you, ma. Who is Charlotte Hill O'Neill? Just a brief introduction of
Yes.
yourself.
Yes, well, I'm a wife, I'm a mother, I'm an artist, I'm a visual artist, I'm a poet, I do film, I'm a community activist, and I'm the co-founder of the United African Alliance Community Center, and it's right here in Mbasani Village in the foothills of Mount Meru outside of Arusha, Tanzania. Yes, so that's who I am basically. And I love being an artist. I was born to be an artist since I was a little girl in kindergarten, huh? And I believe in the empowerment of arts, and that's one of the reasons why our center focuses on art because it helps young people to blossom, and I love being a part of that.
You are not just good at what you do. You don't just love music. You don't just love being an artist. With what you've spoken so far, I can just relate, and that is the fact that you love being an African and its culture. Now, what are the fascinating thing about Africans and the African culture?
Because it's a part of who I am. It's in my DNA. It was something that was passed to me through my ancestors, and I've always been encouraged to focus on me being an African. And I don't even like say African American because I was born in America. No, I am African, period. You know, many of us whose ancestors were taken from Africa, were stolen and kidnapped from Africa, don't know our exact tribe. So that is why I choose to embrace all of Africa. Even though I did a DNA test and through my matriarchal line, it indicated that my matriarchs come from Cameroon and Congo and Nigeria and Ghana and Mali, but I also was able to be able to have a divination. Now, many of your listeners might not know what divination is, but that's something that is a very integral part of our traditional African spiritual paths. And when I got this divination before I was initiated into the Ancestor Society, it indicated that my patriarchal line actually come from where Tanzania is. So I have a foot in the east and a foot in the west, and I just love that. But I claim all of Africa, as we all should. If you have Africa in your heart, you're an African, and I obviously am.
Mm. All right. We've read one or two things about you, and we got to understand you were born in the United States of America. What about,
Yeah.
along the line, you actually had to like migrate to Tanzania. Can you share the experience? What's prompted your leaving USA to Tanzania?
Yes, I was born in Kansas City, Kansas. I grew up in a completely black or African community. Then I went to a newly integrated schools. I was born in 1951, so there was still segregation. Huh? There were many places that we couldn't go as African or as black people, but we could get everything we needed right there in our community, right?
Mm.
So, this was during the so-called civil rights era, and I would see all the brothers and sisters who were marching for their rights, for voting rights, to desegregate schools. I would see the police sicking dogs on them, right on TV, spraying them with these high-powered fire hoses, actually beating them, men, women, and children. I would see this every day. And then during the late 60s, I started seeing these fine black men with their berets and their shades and their leather jackets, and the sisters marching all across America. And that really revved me up. I wanted to know more about that. And those were Black Panthers. Come to find out, Brother Pete O'Neill, who I never thought that I would even meet, he founded the Kansas City chapter of the Black Panther Party. I pasted pictures and articles on my bedroom wall. I was fascinated with the Black Panthers. One of the reasons was because they stood for self-defense, and everyone had to learn how to use weapons, how to defend their homes and their community. But then I found out about the community service programs. Right out of high school, out of a secondary school, I went and signed on the dotted line, and I became a member of the Black Panther Party in Kansas City. And I would always get up early in the morning with all the other young Panthers. Most of us were teenagers, and go and fix breakfast for hundreds of children who otherwise would go to school with empty stomachs. Now, consider this was happening all over America, not just Kansas City. If you had a Panther chapter or even a branch, you were required to do community service. And one of the main services that we provided was feeding children. We would do this by getting donations from the stores who were in our community. And we would go and say, hey, if you want to sell your things in the community, you must give donations of food, And that's basically how we were able to support the community, support these community programs. We also had free health clinics, These were things that the American government were not doing at all, We were the pilot programs for that, right? For feeding children free, for free medical clinics, for teaching people about their rights. I love being a Panther, and I'm telling you,
that's
it marks me. Yes, it marks me to this day. Matter of fact, I got a tattoo right here.
Wow.
You see that?
That's a great one. So
Yeah.
let's discuss the impact of being a member of the Black Panther on your life. Did it have any impact being involved with the Black Panther?
Oh, yes, yes, it has. And to this day, if I'm not doing some kind of community service, I feel guilty because it's in my blood, it's in the marrow of my bones as a Panther veteran to do community service. So you might want to know why we ended up in Tanzania. Well, my husband, as I said, he was one of the leaders. He was the founder of the Kansas City chapter. And all over the country, the leaders were targeted by the FBI, by the police. And this is because they could see that our mindset and the way we carried ourselves and the programs that we had were building unity. Unity not only in the Black community, but unity also with all these progressive organizations that were happening around that time. Remember, this was the time of the Vietnam War. There were so many war resistors in all community, and they gravitated to our programs. There were programs like Students for Democratic Society. You know, there were the Asian brothers and sisters. There were the Puerto Rican brothers and sisters. There were even some of the young whites who gravitated to our program. So because of that, the Black Panther philosophy and the way we carried ourselves was influencing people and making people come together, to build a better society. And that was a threat. As a matter of fact, they called us the number one threat to the internal security of America. Why? Because we were feeding children?
Wow.
That doesn't make sense. But that's what it was. And so my husband was targeted, and he was given a case that he didn't do at all. And he was found guilty of carrying a gun across the state lines. Now, if you know anything about Kansas City, Kansas, and Kansas City, Missouri, which are in two different states, in many places there are literally just a line in the street. They never accused him of they never even found him with this weapon, with this old one-shot gun. But they illegally wiretapped our apartment. They had paid FBI informants. And so he was convicted and he was given some time. But we left thinking that we would come back in 2 years. We escaped. We did not flee. We escaped on what I term the modern day Underground Railroad, And we ended up in Algeria. Yes, in Algeria, which in those days was the main hub of all the exiles all over the world, including in South Africa, including in Vietnam and North Korea and America, South America, Cuba, all of that. So we were a part of the the international section of the Black Panther Party, and we had embassy status. We were actually ambassadors, revolutionary ambassadors.
Thank you so
It
much.
was an exciting.
Wow,
What you
that's
said?
beautiful. I'll actually get to that question. All right, I'll actually give you time to talk more on that. Okay, but for now, let's look at Pan-Africanist. What does that concept actually mean to you?
Oh, that means is very well means what was the philosophy of President Julius Nyerere, the philosophy of Marcus Garvey, and so many progressive revolutionaries all over the world, which means we embrace wherever an African is. You do not have to be born in Africa to be considered an African, We embrace the whole African community. And I try not to even use the word diaspora, because to me, that denotes that you're outside of the concept of what being a Pan-Africanist is, I like to embrace the term the global African family, or the global African community. So of course the continent has all kinds of cultures, so many different languages, but beneath or above that, we're all Africans. And I love that. And I'm proud to be an African. And I love to be an example, especially for young people who in so many countries and in so many ways have been influenced by the West, which makes them almost ashamed of being African. So one of my missions in life, one of the purposes that I walk in this life, is to make sure that we're proud and to make sure that we understand the love that we should embrace for all of us. So being a Pan-Africanist, that's what it's all about for me.
Thank you so much for that explanation, Mama C. We'll take a short break now, and when we'll come back, we'll continue our discussion with the musical icon.
Let's sell on your behalf. If your item sells on our web shop, you pay a 10% commission plus the transaction fees, and you get the rest. Register now at www.shop.clevenard.com. Start uploading your product and services. We can really sell it on your behalf so you can carry on working on the things important to you. Are you looking to sell any type of product or service and you want to avoid the hassle involved? Selling can be an arduous and time-consuming process. At Clevenard Super Shop, we will be happy to take over the workload of promoting or selling your products or services. All you need to do is to register at www.shop.clevenard.com, enter your shop or vendor information, and then start uploading your product and services. We will do the selling. Now, be ready to get more sales and awareness. Start making more money from your business with Clevenard Super Shop by partnering with us today.
All right, you're welcome back. And if you are yet to sign up with us, please do so on www.clevenard.com. All right, Mama C, we are still on your discussions, and I want you to tell us what the United African Alliance Community Center is all about. What is the mission of the organization?
Yes. We empower people through our example, through our classes. We started the UAACC, the United African Alliance Community Center, in the early 90s. And the reason it got started, really, my husband and I were homesteaders. We learned how to be farmers. We had to be very innovative because in the 70s, there were a lot of things that you couldn't get here in Tanzania. So we had to really be creative. And the elders in the community saw this. They saw us making blocks to build things with termite mound soil and a little bit of cement, and we would use this Simvaram. They saw the innovative things we were doing to grow food. They saw that my husband he learned how to build a windmill, because when we first came to this village, there was no running water, there was no electricity. So we had to, if we wanted to have the kind of life that we wanted to live, we had to be very innovative. And so the elders asked us to start a community center. They wanted us to teach English because that was the second language here in Tanzania. But we had so much more to offer. We started teaching about computers, even though we didn't have internet in those days. And then we started focusing more and more on the arts, because we saw when you put a microphone or paintbrush or a sewing needle in front of youth who had never experienced that before and who were all shy and everything, they would strut and be proud that the community recognizes them as artists. And then my husband started the Leaders of Tomorrow Children's Home almost about 20 years ago, and that is, and that's going on to this day. He has helped to raise 20 something children, 28 children, through scholarships, through community support, and some of them still live here. Some of them are in boarding school. Some of them have graduated. So it's a multi-pronged program, where we provide education, and it's free, and these different classes, including music production, including traditional music, filmmaking, photography, sewing, beading, designing, you name it. If youth want a carpentry, we like to provide education that will help young people especially have means to to raise themselves, to make money, huh?
All right, it's all
And
right.
it's
It's
and
all right.
all of
So,
our teachers are volunteers, huh? Because they also have this passion to share knowledge for community development.
exactly.
And and we also host study abroad groups who come here and want to participate in this uplifting program. You know, our center is known all over the world, huh? And
All right.
we've been hosting
Yeah.
students and adults for years and years, and we are very blessed to be able to do this kind of work. It's our
Wow.
passion.
Yeah, wow. It's okay. Now, well, you also have a section of that organization where you have what you call the Heal the Community Tour, which is a yearly event by the organization. What happens there? What is it all about? The yearly events.
Yes, I'm called by various universities in America
Mm.
to talk about our history, to perform, to show films, to enlighten young people because so much of history in the States is being swept under the rug, huh? So a lot of these professors love for me to talk about our lives as Panthers and our lives now as United African Alliance Community Center. So I go, sometime I'm there for 2 months. Last year I was there for 3 months. And not only do I lecture, but I also perform. I perform my poetry, I perform music, and all of that. So that is a way also to spread the peace and love and empowerment that is a part of my passion. Huh? Uh, so I've gone to several countries in Africa also. This year, I'm going to Ghana in November. I'm going to the States in September, October, and then I'll be going to Ghana in November as a part of the Heal the Community Tour and to empower women, children, and brothers and sisters. When we talk about empowerment, we talk about everybody. But of course, my focus is more on the upliftment of women, you know, and children and our brothers. We need it. We need examples, huh? And I love being a powerful, positive example for everybody, for the world. Whether I'm in China, I've spent 2 months in China. I've been to South Africa 3 times, Zimbabwe, Malawi, Ghana. Um, yeah,
Wow, that's beautiful. We'll take another
that's
short break.
the heal.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what Heal the Community is about. Healing through example, healing through uh, uh, means of empowering people, and healing through the unity that we have to build together.
That's a beautiful one, ma. We'll take another short break here, and when we'll come back, we'll be talking more about your interest in music and poetry. Audience, please, we'll be back shortly.
In the 21st century's technological advancement, we all seek opportunities to move and network with the emerging space. Introducing Clevenard Blog and Event Posting. Do you think you have some interesting materials, good content, articles, and stories? Then feel free to publish them on Clevenard Blog and Events page, just as team of our writers are doing presently. By blogging on Clevenard's blogs and events, you benefit from our reach and network. There are constant stream of people visiting our social platform, and we have figured out just how to distribute our contents. This means you can basically skip the line and get access to a big audience from day one. Furthermore, we can help you get in touch with important people for projects with possibilities of translating your content into other languages and republishing them on Clevenard. This helps preserve and protect your content from getting lost. What's more, you also get to be part of our team with access to our network and lots of exclusives, behind the scenes information. And of course, you get full credit for everything you do, which brings you popularity and make extra income. Sign up now on clevenard.com and start blogging to your advantage. Please see the tutorial video on how to blog or post events on Clevenard Blogs and Events. For more information, contact info@clevenard.com +34 631 279811. Website www.clevenard.com. Clevenard, your blogs, your identity.
All right, you're welcome back. All right, Mama C, you fought for the emancipation of Black people through your music and your poetry. Okay, so how important do you think music and poetry, or even arts in general, is to life?
I think it's very, very important because music is something that everybody can relate to. It doesn't matter if you really understand the words, the language, it's the vibe. And it's that vibe of love and unity and expressing the fact that we're proud Africans, you know. And this is one of the reasons I think FESTAC is such an important event that's going to happen, you know, because there's going to be an opportunity for musicians to come together and to spread that love vibe. I sure am looking forward to that, because I love to jam. I love to do improvisation. And poetry is something that can touch everybody's heart in so many ways. I have 3 poetry books, but this is my last one. I don't know if you can see it real good. It's called Homage, and my publisher is actually in South Africa, African Perspectives. Wow. And I have a lot of different things in this poetry book, and I always love to share, whether it's about honoring our ancestors, which is something that is very, very important. It doesn't matter what religion you are, you know, we should all find ways and means to honor our ancestors because we carry that DNA within ourselves. Even in the Bible, they say, honor your mother and father. Well, who are your mother and father? They're your ancestors, huh? So, you know, that's another thing that I think is so important to express through my music, through my poetry, even through my film, the fact that we should honor our African traditions. So much of it is being lost, huh? And if we lose our traditions and our culture, where is that going to leave us? So that's one of the reasons that I really think music, can send a message that we have to be unified. We have to reach back. You know, Sankofa, this is one of my tattoos. You see that? That's a Sankofa bird. And it's an Andinkra. And we must reach back, to bring the good things forward. And that's what I do. And I do that through my music, through my poetry.
That's beautiful, man. That's so much. That's so beautiful and good to hear. You are an advocate of the African culture, all right? Now you be invited to perform as a FESTAC Africa. What does this invite mean to you?
Oh, it means so much. It means so much that, you know, I've been performing all over the world for many, many years. But to have FESTAC right here in Arusha, hey, that's going to be a beautiful, beautiful thing. It was a major choice to have Arusha. Arusha is so beautiful, It's peaceful. That all of the people are so friendly. It's if you want to go to the Serengeti, you come to Arusha first. If you want to go to Mount Kilimanjaro, you come to Arusha first. And the fact that it's in a very historical place, Arusha International Conference Center, AICC, that is huge. So Arusha is really, really excited about this. And I hope several of the artists here, because we got a lot of musicians here, a lot of poets, I hope they'll also be able to participate. But I say big ups to the organizers of FESTAC for understanding the importance of being right here in Arusha, the home of Julius Nyerere, and so many, and the home of also of our first woman president, Mama Samia. Yes, yes. So you all made a good choice, and I am excited to participate.
So what role are you playing at the event? What are you offering us, the guest?
Oh, I'm going to be offering music. I'm going to be offering poetry. I'm going to be offering history. And I love being an example of an elder working with young people. That's one of the reasons I love conscious hip hop. And Arusha is the home of conscious hip hop. And I urge other elders, work with the young people, work with the hip hop artists and all the different musicians. Because if you want to relate to young people these days, you better know something about hip hop.
Well, that's beautiful. You have I don't even know if it's an event or a program where you say each one teach one. Is it part of what we will be seeing at the event?
Yes, yes. Each one teach one. I believe that everybody has something to share. You don't have to be a PhD. You don't have to have a degree, but you have talents right in your hands. You can be a mentor to somebody. You can change somebody's life just by showing that you care and sharing your creativity. And to me, that's what each one teach one mean. We can all be teachers and we can all be students and be open to learning. I myself, I'm a lifelong learner. I'm also a lifelong teacher. So embrace that concept, y'all. Each one teach one.
All right, now let's take a last word on the guests, the vendors, and every participant of that event. What will be your last word for them?
I couldn't hear you real well. Say that again.
Yeah, I mean your message to everybody that will be attending the Arusha 2023.
Yes, embrace who you are. Be a part of the global community. The world belongs to us. Whether you're African, born on the continent, or outside the continent, embrace and build our unity. And don't give up, y'all. Don't give up now. Don't you give up. That's my mission. Never give up. Spread peace,
Mama
love.
T, I wanted to tell you to just give us, let's hear one of your songs. And even without my asking, you've already done that. All right, Thank you so much, man, for being my guest today. It was a beautiful 40 minutes with you. Thank you so much for all you do for African and the female child.
Okay, right. See you at FESTAC, Arusha.
Certainly. Bye. All right, audience, you heard it all from Mama C herself. Please, if you've not signed up on Cleveland TV, keep doing that. It is www.cleveland.com. And if you've not made reservations on FESTAC Africa destination Arusha, please, you need to do that right now. Please contact any or one of them and they get to know how you can be part of the epic event. I remain Frank Kalidemi saying, do have a beautiful day. Bye.